calling back. We're going to try to give her a call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson who's possibly with the daughter. Step out with this.
2412.
Veteran crisis hotline's calling in, so they have a female veteran's off her medication. She's at work to safe haven. Attacking 12, take a check that one out.
6 Rumble, 2 1 try to get shot.
Officer still stands for talk? No. Offender in custody? Thanks. Anyone else close by this result, let me know. First number. 10-4. Anyone else close by this result, let me know.
3-3. I'll let a supervisor know that I have a case report with an arrest attached.
1830. Fulton. 247 Fulton, okay.
4235 the beat is coming over with domestic battery at 1815 North Winchester, 1815 North Winchester. Danny stated the caller is the owner of the vehicle. Thank you. 111 117 11. Someone shot here. Our DT doesn't take pictures of the origins of the
She's calling back. We're going to try to give her a call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson who's possibly with the daughter.
Yes, the saxophones. Gotta hear the saxophone. Gotta hear gotta hear the saxophones and then display these banners as we start every show. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for hopping in. Appreciate you. I want to say shout out to It's a Crying Shame having Jay Coffindaffer on there. We were going to discuss some of the other episodes that Jennifer had done on her own show. I watched it over there. She had a lot of interesting things to say, did she not? Holy moly. Did she not have some interesting things to say? I don't know. What did you? How many of you guys watched it over there? And shout out to her. It's a crying shame. We've been over there before. She was a gracious host, and they do a lot of work for Delphi and stuff too. But it was a great episode, and like seriously, it's like when Jay Koff wasn't on her own show. I don't know. Some stuff got out the bag. Right? Right? Now there's been a couple things, there's been a couple things, regarding the last couple episodes, and you can see, like I said, some of the other people are making a whole bunch of something out of nothing when it comes to some of the stuff that she was saying, which is unfortunate because then it just creates more fog and smoke, in the community when everybody's just trying to find Sebastian or whatever the cause may be. But yeah, there is some things she did mention in the show earlier, and we'll go over the Jennifer Coffindaffer. We're going to do something else. We're going to be doing part 3 of our first interviews with the PFs. But I would like to talk to Coffindaffer sometime, because one thing that she did mention, and it's something, being in the community, being part of the shows here over the last few weeks, we've kind of we're like, hey, where's the new statement, especially when it comes to what time and what direction he was witnessed. Not even the name. Nobody needs to know the name, nobody needs to know their address, but the only thing that would be right, and you see him on every other missing poster, is the last time, right? The last time, and if they were seen outside of the mother's last eyewitness account, then it would be in a specific direction, right? Not general. Now, we came out with that community post a week and a half ago. I have yet to get any response other than, here, let me actually check it, because it's the typical. Thanks for messaging us. We try to be as responsive as possible, but this account isn't monitored 24/7. We'll get back to you soon. Now, this was days ago, okay? This was days ago. Now, there's been other people that have reached out and also sent this letter. We discussed more of it last night. And Jennifer Coffindaffer brought it up in the episode with It's a Crying Shame. And I'm going to reach out to Jennifer Coffindaffer. We've messaged before on X. I'm going to reach out to her and see if she'd like, because I really want to talk, like, let's forget all the other stuff, right? Let's forget all the other stuff. Me and Coffin Daffer, let's talk about the last scene. Now, we broke it down in a live, and if you didn't see it, here's the link for it. And save it to your playlist and come on back. We ain't gonna be getting into this stuff here for a few. Check it out. I show you all the posts. I show you the dates. I show you where it came from. All of it. And then that's where I came up with the community post, just asking questions, which is true and which is not true, because there's a lot of inconsistencies with the statement, and the latest statement is really general. You know what I'm saying? In the area, not even a time. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the reasons why we went through the dispatch stuff last night. Because I wanted to show people, look, there was an agenda that was pushed for a month, and sometimes even longer, because there's still people talking about the dog hits and the scent trails. Okay. I mean, March 26th, Ken Widener came out and said there was no, and he even doubled down on it just a couple weeks ago. There was no tracks or scent trails for Sebastian. But that narrative was still pushed, right? And this is what I'm trying to help people understand, and this is what I've been trying to get to the last few weeks, is that there is a narrative that's also being pushed. Not it was the dog hit. Ken Widener came out and corrected it. Now, who's going to correct the information that's on the community post? It's all stuff. If you click on that link and save it to a playlist and you watch it, we go through all of it. And then you can see how the community post goes in line with all of these different statements, when, who said it. Especially if you're talking about a missing child that was last seen. Let's have the last scene be the correct last scene, because that's what Sebastian deserves. That's what his family deserves. That's what his loved ones deserve. That's what his community deserves. It's what the whole country deserves. The real last scene. I would love to talk to her about that, because she did mention it. It was one of her concerns. It's been our concern for a long time. And with all the stuff that we've dug in and shown you over the last few weeks as we've been discussing it, I think it would be a great conversation, honestly. So I'm going to reach out to her tonight after the show on X. You know, take that link, send it to her. Let's talk about it over here. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, if they don't want to put the, listen, I already put out a time for you. They ain't even putting out a time for you. Right? They're going to tell you in the morning hours of February 26th. I already told you back then. I guess I'm going to tell you 12:01 a.m. until 11:59 a.m. There you go. That's when that's missing. Obviously before 6:30. Sighting. Okay, where? Up until 11:59 a.m. He was last seen in the morning hours on February 26th. Okay, well, how come there's never been a time or direction? Because if there's no foul play, well, then why would the time and direction be a secret? Why would people that have also sent this message out get the reply that they're getting? And that's what I'm saying. Did the cats get their tongue? It's January 10th. It's not New Year's anymore. The holiday's been gone. Right? It's not New Year's anymore. These were sent after. Listen, when On December 19th, right? Let's show this. On December 19th, okay? On December 19th, and look, that's just like the response that I told you guys that I've gotten, and that's all I've gotten since. Now, look, later that day, okay? Later that day, okay? December 19th, sent December 19th in the morning. You get the usual message that I told you I got back, right? And the same day, 12:50 p.m. I'm not trying to rag on anybody, but at the same time, if we're all trying to find Sebastian, shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Do you see where I'm coming from? Got an answer right there. So when it comes to this one, listen, I ain't got a response. I didn't get nothing after. Let me see. I didn't get nothing after. Thanks for messaging us. We try to be as responsive as possible, but this account isn't monitored 24/7. We'll get back to you soon. Now, when we're talking about this one right here, right? Look, here's a response. Now, listen. This was after. Can you please? This is Katrina just asking another question. Can you please verify when Sebastian Rogers was last seen? Was it February 25th, 2024 or February 26th, 2024? Was it by a person or on a video? There is so much speculation in the rumors. There needs to be an update, if possible, please, with the prayer hands, and thank you. Our offices are closed right now, and we don't monitor this account 24/7. We'll be happy to respond to your message very soon if this is an emergency. Yada, 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 right? I was wondering if you'd be able to answer my question. Thanks. Just the date is fine. Thanks so much. Again, thanks for messaging us. We try to be responsive as possible. Blah, 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 blah. Now, keep in mind, we watched the videos last night that said, hey, and we'll go through them. They're real quick. They're like 45 seconds. The details, the information, the public, people that can help, searchers, all of this stuff. Okay? What are we talking about here? Are we talking about doing what we're supposed to do, or having some kind of fog out there? If you have any information pertaining to the current Amber Alert, please provide that information via the designated tip lines we have available. Sorry, Caps, I did not have a tip. I was just hoping to clear up the last time he was seen, either February 25th or February 26th. There are varying dates reported. Can there be an update given between TBI local law enforcement, Sumner County? Sebastian deserves it. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. Does the cat got their tongue? Again, if you didn't catch the link earlier and you want to see everything that we went through, here's the link right here. It shows you all the different statements, who said what, when they said it, what they said, whatever, everything. So then when it comes to this community post, and I'll share this with you too, you just go to the community section. It's the last one there. So when I come across and I display all of these questions because it was all based off of their own statements. But if there's no foul play, again, if there's no foul play, look, if you need to change it, change it. But if there's no foul play, well, then why does the time he was reported seen and why is the direction that he was reported seen such a secret? All of these different account statements, posts, went through it all. And it's like, okay, especially the locations. When you say in the area of Stafford, that could be anywhere. General. Why is it general if there was a witness statement and there's no foul play? That's all we're asking. And out of the words that other people in the investigation have stated, which is true and which is not, I think these are legitimate. And for nobody to get a response, or to get a response as in this, I mean, let's be honest, when it came to this one, it was very quick. It was the same day. Thank you, everybody, for hopping in here. Appreciate you. When it came to this one, it was the same day. Are they? I mean, let me know. Listen, we shout out LE. We couldn't have the protection that we have and need in communities without their sacrifices, right? Shout out. But when it comes to LE, that ain't, listen, we're just asking for the truth. We're just asking for a clarified statement. We're just asking for if he was last seen. Why is the time and the location direction such a secret? And also, the other question I have is when it comes to the thud, and here, I wasn't even prepared to show this. Let me get it up. Let me pull it up real quick. Because when it comes to the thud, which is this too? Because this is a very important question as well. This was from Don Schmidt, Sumner County Commissioner, February 26th. Last seen February 25th, 2024. And also, it also says last seen on the night of February 25th at 10 p.m., the mother reported hearing a thud from his room, at which point the mother called out to him to keep it down. And that's another question that we have is, was it really keep it down? Or was it, are you okay? More than two, Raw Beanie. There's 4 different locations that have been stated. 4. His home, Beach, Shackle Island near Long Hollow Pike, Beach High School, and the area of Stafford Court. Those can be all 4 different areas. Because when you generalize it in the area of Stafford Court, it could be anything. It could be his backyard. It could be across the street. It could be by the construction area. It could be in the woods north of the house. It could be a few blocks. You know what I'm saying? In the area. So it could be anything. So I consider that a location because it could be somewhere else other than Beach High School, Beach Shackle Island near Long Hollow Pike, or the mom's house, the residence. Seriously, we went through. Here's the link again. Save it as a playlist. It's just the episode we did the other night where we went through every single statement because I wanted people to understand, look, we're going to go through all of this because I'm not putting out this community post for nothing. This community post was like, okay, what is real? What is not? 10 months later, 10 and a half months later, what's real, what's not? And if there's no foul play, well, then how come there's no time when he was reported missing on the 26th? And why was there no direction or location if there's no foul play? Listen, we understand when there's foul play, they got to keep it close. We know that. When there's no foul play, just simple questions from people that have stated different things. So, like I told you last night, hey guys, if I got an update, I'll let you know. If not, if I get the update in between lives, I'll go ahead and put out a video. Still, listen. When I saw the replies that others got, and listen, if you've sent it out, send me the screenshots of you sending it out and what you got in response to. Right? Clarity. But I was shocked to see that they were able to get that response. I wasn't even able to get those. I didn't get nothing except for the generalized automatic reply because because as soon as you send the message, it's like boom, right? Just a second later, it's like bam, already there. So I'm gonna share these couple videos real quick, and then as we're getting into our part 3 of the first interviews with the PFs, we're gonna be going into the one that they had on March 20th. When it comes to the one with the hands, I want to show you guys something, and really just I don't know. It was just really weird, and so and this was from the reporter herself. So I just before we get into this interview, this was just a couple days after we went in through Olivia's interview too. Chronicles of Olivia, we went in through that interview as well. Then 2 days later, at the request of the PFs, Smiley had a conversation with them as well. Now, we're not going to be able to get into the whole thing this evening. It's going to be in different parts. But I think it's important to go through this one too, as we're kind of going through the different parts now. We're not necessarily going in order because there are some other ones that we're going to kind of bounce around a little bit as we go through these. But we will get to some, even if we did miss some of them. But these are the ones that are like really, really important that I really want to go over and kind of show you as we're leading up, leading up into the whole totality of what we're trying to show you. Let me see here. I want to share these with you though real quick. Now, like I said, this is their own words. This is them telling you how much details matter. This is them talking about how it's important for the public to be able to have the information, the details, the clarity of the information so they can try and help find a missing child as well.
When a child goes missing in Tennessee, it's important that law enforcement is notified immediately. so we can start the process to assist. Once TDI is notified, we have the capabilities to start the process of notifying the public. Because in these missing kid cases, anytime a child goes missing, it's important to get that information out to the public immediately through our media, through alerts that go off on cell phones, as well as making sure that all law enforcement are aware so they can be looking in the area for the child. Anything that we can provide the public up front, or if we have search teams that are out looking immediately after a child goes missing, the more information that we can give the search teams or law enforcement,
Right there.
hopefully the quicker we're going to find the child. If a child has a blanket, that might be something that sticks out when we push.
You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? This is the more information. I mean, just let this sink in here. This is them. Here's the link.
Anything that we can provide the public up front, or if we have search teams that are out looking immediately after a child goes missing, the more information that we can give the search teams or law enforcement, hopefully the quicker we're going to find the child. If a child has a blanket, that might be something that sticks out when we push this out to the public, and we can give them something to look for, whether it be a blanket or a stuffed animal or a toy or a favorite location, somewhere near the house, a park, something that is going to attract that child in a true missing case where they've ran away. That's going to give the public anything that we have, we are going to share with the public.
So why is the time and the direction/location such a secret? Why? And I shared you the link. It's there. It's their own website. Come on. What are we doing here? This is what I would like to talk to Jennifer Coffindaffer about. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, look, I watched you on A Crying Shame earlier, and in one of the parts you were like, yeah, the last scene and this and that. And I'm like, thank you. We've been stressing it like crazy the last few weeks, coming out with, all the stuff that we're doing. Like, what are we doing here, right? What are we doing here? Are we trying to find Sebastian? Are we trying to find Sebastian? It's horrible. Sebastian deserves better. His family, the community, the world. Because it could be your child too. And if this is the kind of fog that exists when people listen, how many missing children are out there? Think about it. Really think about it. How many missing children are out there and they don't have this amount of attention or this many people searching and helping and doing, you know what I'm saying? Think about it. Think about the families that don't have the attention. Think about the families that don't have all of these other resources that they don't even have to pay for just to try and help. And think about those same families getting the same kind of fog being put out there when it comes to being able to get to the destination. And the destination is to find their missing loved one. Think about those family members and then come back to this and tell me why are so secret? We're not only discussing this stuff and bringing it up and asking these questions because we're trying to protect those families too. The families that don't have what Sebastian has. It could be them too. It could be you. How can we sit here and have this fog, especially if there is a witness sighting of him outside of his house? Why? No foul play. I'll repeat it over and over and over. No foul play. I'm going to keep saying it. And trust me, I'm going to reach out to Jay Koff after this, because it's a concern of hers. I seen it. She said it. It's been a concern of ours. We need some effing answers. And so does Sebastian and the whole community. The whole community deserves to have these answered. It doesn't matter who. The people that are trying to find him, the family, the community, everybody that is really trying to truly help. Because we're doing this stuff out of the kindness of our hearts and the drive to help other people, because we can put ourselves in other people's shoes. That's why we're able to do what we do, because we can put ourselves in other people's shoes and go, you know what? If this was mine. That's where we get the drive. If this was mine. And I'm telling you right now, if this was mine, I'd have a different tone. I'd have probably sound hella different. I wouldn't be giving up. Like, I'm sorry. And I'm not saying anybody has. What I'm saying is, I'd be like, we deserve some clarity. We deserve some clarity. We're not asking who's seen him. We're not asking that. Who cares who's seen him? What we do care about is the time he was seen. General times are fine too, between 10:30 and 11 in the morning. Okay, all right, Beach High School, all right. You know? No foul play. I don't understand the secrets. So I want to share this with you all real quick, and then we're going to get into this interview. Now, this was from Fox 17, Caitlin Miller. Okay, and it says, today I sat. Now this was the next day, or it was the same day that she did that interview. The one that was on March 7th. That's the one where you saw the hands, on the table the whole time. And then we kind of went through that one. Trey and I did our part 1 and part 2. We went through the local stuff, and she says, today I sat down with Sebastian Rogers' mother and stepfather about the current investigation after a 15-year-old at the time. Sebastian Rogers has been missing for 11 days at that time. Katie and Chris Proudfoot did not want to show their faces because they say they were too emotional. Earlier this week, I interviewed Sebastian's biological father, Seth Roger. Follow my page to stay updated with the investigation. Now, like I said, we went through those local interviews, right? March 5th, March 7th. We went through those two. March 5th was the one that was right here, right? This one.
That all started Sunday night, February 25th.
Now, this was 2 days before the interview where the hands were just on the camera, okay? Too emotional.
Pretty normal. He was playing in his room. When I told him to go to bed, he did. He said, "Good night, Mom. I love you."
Katie says she went to wake up Sebastian around 6
What told him to go to bed or to keep it down?
a.m. Monday for school, and he was gone. Within minutes, Katie says she was on the phone with Chris.
Look at the face. Do you see the tears running down?
Who was working out of town, and they quickly called 911.
And he's not a runner. He's never run away before.
Too emotional. What are we talking about here? Now, when you're watching this,
so we have it on.
when you're watching this, do you hear any sniffles? Do you hear any the nasal passages getting activated from the tear ducts? Do you hear any of that? You listen to it. We're not going to listen to the whole thing. But no, you don't. You don't.
Proudfoot, So, I mean, first, just as parents, tell me what the last now over a week has been like for you two.
Horrible beyond words.
You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to the whole too emotional, and we've watched a few of them already. And when it comes to too emotional, it's like, what are we talking about here? Like I said, the only other parent of a missing child that has not put their face on an interview has been Letitia Stouch. The only one I know of. Letitia Stouch. What other missing persons case has the family not been on camera? Face. Oh, Leilani did face. Leilani had her face to the cameras. You could see Leilani. She'd be sitting there next to Billy, grinning and pretending to cry and all that other stuff. But yelling back at all these other people and stuff. But I'm like saying straight up, nope. What's my honest opinion of the green? Well, this is what I was like, the green hoodie person. Is it suspicious? Has it always been suspicious? Yes. Like, it's really weird when somebody's standing there for more than a few minutes in between two vehicles. You know? Even if you're a panhandler, because before the extended interview came out, I was like, hey, it could be a panhandler, you know? It could be a panhandler. Hey, you got a buck? And then everybody looks, you know, at even the lady that was walking to the car up in the top of the video, everybody looked at the same time. And it was, you know, I was like, hey, maybe she's like, no, go get a job or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's some rude ass people out there, whatever, you know, and that would be, that's not something you would normally hear in a restaurant parking lot. There's going to be people talking. There's going to be commotion. There's going to be cars driving up and down. That's not going to make a whole bunch of people look in one direction at the same time at a restaurant that usually has a lot of noise. So there had to be something that people normally didn't hear in a restaurant parking lot that made everybody go, what? So it's weird. You combine that with the fact that somebody literally was there for minutes just chilling in between the vehicle, and then whatever took place, it's hard to see, you know. But it's odd. And then they just went to the bathroom, and then came back out and left. I don't get it, you know. But what I did think from the very beginning was that it had to have been vetted from law enforcement, right? Because just like when that camera angle first came out, you could tell it, you know, camera 2, you know. And when you're thinking about a business, if a business is going to have multiple cameras, the first camera they're going to have is the camera that's coming in and out of the door, right? They're going to have a view on it, have the register in it in view. They're, now if there's multiple cameras, of course, multiple cameras will be able to cover different things. But that was the main thing to me, is like, oh, okay. Well, they already have the inside camera of the person, because that would be the first camera any business would have. And they would have a video of the person coming in and coming out. And so to me, it was like, well, I'm sure they had to have vetted this person, right? Was it suspicious? Of course. Now, when the video came out, yeah, like, you got to dig into it. You know what I mean? Because especially with the extended version, it was like you could really tell how long that person was standing there. And it's like, whoa, okay. It was already creepy before, and now it's even at a different level of creepiness, But at the same time, you have to trust that they were vetted from law enforcement, right? But then we're talking about the stuff that we're talking about tonight when it comes to the last scene, the time, and the location. No foul play. Last scene it makes a huge difference when it comes to last scene, because if he wasn't last seen at a particular time, at a particular location, that should have nothing to do with any kind of secrecy. No foul play. Well, then if he wasn't seen on the morning of February 26th, then it wasn't a true witness account, just like the dog hits weren't on the dispatch audio. Those weren't either. Just saying. So if those aren't real, well, then it should go back to last seen in his residence between the hours of 9 and 10 p.m. because there's conflicting statements on when he was actually in bed. But we know that 9 to 10 p.m. is still the 25th. It's not the 26th. It's not the morning of 26th. But but Cynthia, they said they don't have any video. They said they don't have any video, so that if they had video, then of course. If they had video, of course. But they said they don't have any video. They've said they don't have any video. And again, if you did have video, you don't have to release it, and you can keep it a secret. But don't you think you would tell people, hey, he was last seen at 12:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. in this general area between this house or this street going southwest, southeast, northwest, northeast, something, right? No foul play. No foul play. They've said that the light video holds no evidentiary value when it comes to Sebastian Rogers' missing persons case. They've said that. Craddock did. Okay. He said they have no video. They don't have anything. So you supposedly have a witness that saw him in the early morning hours in the area of Stafford Court. Why 10 and a half months later was there never a time or a direction put out there? Why the fog? You just saw the little videos from TBI about the public and how they're helping and how, clarity, information, ASAP. What time was Sebastian seen in the morning of February 26th? What time and what location? And if there was no time or no location of the sighting of Sebastian Rogers on the morning of February 26th, well, then does it not deserve to go back to last seen in his residence between the hours of 9 and 10 p.m. on the night of February 25th? Because if we're really trying to find Sebastian, don't you think those two avenues are completely separate? Right? They're not right alongside each other. No, they're completely different avenues. It makes a huge difference between last seen at his home walking to bed to last seen walking around in the neighborhood. Because I've been telling you since May that he didn't walk out of that house after all the stuff we were done doing at that point. He didn't walk out. I didn't think he walked out when I first heard about it and started going into the case in the very beginning. I didn't even think he did back then. But you have to go off of what law enforcement's telling you. And so we had to approach the searches and the digging like he did. But when we got to May, I was like, no, I'm sorry. If he walked out after being in these woods for months and he supposedly walked out, no, he didn't walk out. We need to change it up. He did not walk out of that house, and we'll be having that we're going to be having that show coming up. Trust me, I had 3 different shows for you guys tonight, and we're going with this one. And one of the other shows we're going to have is he did not walk out of the house, and he didn't just disappear. Okay? He didn't walk out, and he didn't just disappear. It ain't happening. Now, when it comes to this emotion, I didn't see it happening either. So when it comes to what Fox 17 Caitlin Miller was stating about, I go to sit down to have an interview. And I'm we can't show their faces because they're way too emotional. We didn't hear that emotion on any of the other ones, and we already went through the other ones as well. What other missing persons case does that happen? I'm not saying anybody did anything. I'm just asking you, what other missing persons cases that happen? And when you're looking at percentages are percentages for a reason. Is how often something happens or don't. And that percentage is very, 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 very tiny. So we're going to go into this. This is Smiley Storey's world. And let me drop her link in chat. This was an interview that took place on March 20th. Okay. So here's her link. This is an episode that took place on March 20th. It says at the request. Okay, so I don't know if she was, hey, we want to go live. I don't know how it took place. But it is one that I want to go through as part of all of the stuff that we are going through. Let me see. We never know. Just send me the information to EvilleCJ@gmail.com, and I'll take a look at it. All right, this is Smiley, and this is an interview. Like I said, it's an interview that took place on March 20th. All right, here I'll show you guys the What the heck? Why is it? All right, there we go. So there's the date, March 20th, 2024. All right. So there's her channel. Go show her some love. And also, here's the link to the video. If you don't have it, I do have it in the description, so you can click on it later if you need to. Now, I'm going to raise this up here while we can get all the different cameras in view. And then we're going to listen to this one. And we're going to go through it. Like I said, it's already about 3 hours. We're not going to go through the whole thing tonight. We're going to split it up in a couple parts as we kind of go through some other ones. This won't be the last one that we go through either, but we're going to kind of split them out throughout the week as we've been doing. But these are very important, especially this one, because there's a lot of stuff that was said. Now, each one, little things have varied. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff has been offered, some stuff hasn't. We've seen stuff being reported from law enforcement that's not being included in the interviews, different things like that, right? And this one right here, there's some stuff that wasn't said in the other ones, and that's why we're going to go through this one too. So I want to say shout out to Smiley. She's been in the chat. Appreciate her and the awareness that she brings, not only for Sebastian's case, but all these other victims, families, and communities out there as well. We'll be playing this at normal speed too. Now, this is Katie and Chris. They've been trying to get on the panel in their connection. It's StreamYard. Sometimes it says, not connected to the device or whatever. I don't know. It's usually when they're doing a lot of updates and stuff, and so sometimes that does happen. But we went ahead and skipped through it, and we'll go ahead and get started when they're just about to join.
I don't know where she's at.
Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you very much. Oh, 1 second here. I do want to contribution call out here real quick. Pam, thank you so much for being a member for 6 months. Best YouTube family, CJ Hunters. Thank you so much, Pam. And you've always been a great part of the community, too. Really appreciate it. And Cynthia as well. Thank you for becoming a new member. And let me go ahead and give you all that round of applause just for being a part of the community, because really without you, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. All right. Thank you so much. And I will drop her link here throughout the episode. Let me make this a little bit bigger. I'll drop her link throughout the episode. And like I said, we're going to be digging through this one. It's going to be in different parts. And there's a lot of information here. And I want to dig in through it with you guys.
Maybe where she can't get the signal good.
Thank you all for being here.
Here she is back. Okay, Katie. Okay, there you go. Sorry about that. And you may have a bad signal somewhere. I don't know if you're having like rain or anything, but it keeps going in and out, but that's okay. But anyway, the main thing is people just have a lot of questions and just trying to make sense of everything. And you're here. Okay, Chris, I'm dropping the link again. I told nobody not to get it but you. Here you go.
She's such a sweetheart. Also, Tracy, Mom of Angel, member for 9 months. Dang. CJ, you're amazing, and so are the angels, and so are you too, really. We're all the same part in the community. It takes everybody. We're just part of it as much as you all are, and it really does take an effort of everybody. So you are amazing too, and all of you people that are in here being about the peace, positivity, and progress, because that's what we're here for. We're not here very long, and so it's important to try and bring that kind of energy to the communities and the people that we're trying to help. It means a lot. Thank you so much.
Go, sir. Oh, drop again. Sorry. There you go. If you'll just click on that. But I do, still with anything that we personally go through, there's nothing, it's not the same. And I understand that. And so I am very sorry. I'm very sorry for you all three of you. I can feel when his dad talks, Seth, I can feel that pain. And it's just different. I'm not trying again to accuse.
Prayers, Yoli, and anybody else that's affected by these fires. Oh my gosh, I keep seeing the news and everything going out there, and then how there's people like actually setting the fires out there. What the hell is wrong with people? I don't understand it. It makes absolutely no sense. So special prayers. I know it's got to be like pins and needles out there, Yoli. Just everybody, show anybody that you might know, or even if you don't know them, just send extra prayers, because there's a lot of stuff going on over there, and it's got to be so scary. I'm sitting here during this ice storm, and I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, this is something else, state of emergency here, and all of a sudden then that stuff's happening over there. So extra prayers, man. Extra prayers, because I can't even. Oh my gosh! It just it brings me back to the day when we had something here, and it's just like just the thought of like losing everything. It's a scary thought. So I definitely feel you and understand you, and prayers.
Like I said, anybody, I'm just trying to make sense of everything. And that's all I can say. I can't be fake. I have to be honest,
I know, Chantel. I know.
It's your opinion and you're entitled to it, obviously, but I can tell you that the pain that his father and I, and even my husband, are feeling right now is immeasurable, to be honest with you. And I have never in my life would I have ever dreamed that this would be a reality.
Remember, too emotional, okay? Too emotional. That's one thing I want y'all to listen to the whole time we're going through this. Listen for the sniffles. And if anybody wants to like timestamp when they hear a sniffle, please do.
Yes, ma'am. I don't think anybody ever thinks this will happen to them. Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Yeah, you surprised me calling me. You surprised me calling me, but I'm glad I could bring you on and hopefully, talk about this. A lot of people's just interested. I know it's irritating, and I know it's irritating. Me included. I know I am too, but we're just all, we all have opinions, and there's no stone we can leave unturned. We have to think outside the box. And I know it's irritating to y'all. I know it's irritating to everybody, but we all want Sebastian found. And, I just told Katie, we just have to go with, we all have our opinions, and they may not always be good, but my heart's in the right place. But go ahead, and I'll let you start or whatever.
She's such a sweetheart too. Just shout out to her again. Here's the link to her channel.
What do you want to do?
So there's Tom too. Do me a favor. I got to drop out of this. I got to make a phone call real quick, and I will be back. This is one call. I don't care. I don't miss this phone call because it's my daughter.
No, you go ahead.
Come back and hang tight. Give me about 5-10 minutes. I'll be right back.
You're fine. You're fine. We'll be here.
Is that good?
You're okay. Hold on.
Hello?
That's me. I'm gonna knock you off for a minute. You just come back when you're ready. Okay. So I think he's on mute. Okay. So Katie.
That'll clarify that side of the question everybody's been asking. No, he does not have a restraining order from his daughter. He speaks to her, just to go ahead and clear that one out, because I know there's been a lot of talk about that as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, he still speaks to her on the phone, as y'all see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our little girl is precious and loved, just like Sebastian.
Yeah. So somebody's wanting to know, that question's come up a couple of times, and I don't mean to be rude. I'm just going to ask that. I have saw it, like, do y'all, do you not call her y'all's daughter, since y'all call him y'all's son?
We do, and a lot of people are reading into it. It's just how we talk. Our boy, our girl, my son, my daughter, his son, his daughter. I mean, they're our children, but our children also have other parents as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, both of our children have more than just two parents.
Yeah. And I know you probably have been asked this on several channels. Y'all have been on several channels. Is there a reason that Chris hasn't seen him since? I know it had to do with the work, but like, why did he say he hadn't seen Sebastian since the 1st of February?
Because that's the truth. He hadn't seen him since the beginning of February.
Yeah, but why?
I mean, is there a reason for that?
Right.
He's working 3.5 hours away. He don't come home after work.
So was he, I mean, and I'm just wondering, like, was he gone for like 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks or something like that?
He'd been gone since the beginning of February was the last time he was actually home. Christopher was actually home. And yes, he did see Sebastian when he come home.
Okay, wait a minute. Which is it here? Which is it? Because if the last time you seen him, right, was February 1st, he did see Sebastian when he came home. Well, when was that? Because if you hadn't been there since February 1st, see, when you're reading these words, what it's telling you is that this time away was it started before February 1st. That was just the last time that he was there. Right? Yeah, he did see Sebastian when he come home. It's not after. It's not when he got there. It's not when he got there after, finding out he was missing. The last time he was there was on February 1st. That's what she's asking. Was that the last time? And if it was, why? Right? Now, Chris is busy. He's on a phone call with his daughter. So she's just able to ramble, right? She's just able to ramble. Like, that's an important part of this conversation. He had to take the call with his daughter. She's on her own. Oh, I'm going to replay it. Trust me, because I want you guys to hear it. And this is what I'm saying. How could it? So if you're looking at the words, well, you're telling me this whole time away started before February 1st. It was just the last time he had made a visit. Because if he would actually come home and see Sebastian when he came home, well, then that tells you, then that would be taking place before February 1st, right? Because it wasn't in between February 1st and the 26th, right? Because you wouldn't, a court, February 1st was the last day. So that takes that out of the equation. And then when it comes to seeing him as he was coming in town after he was reported missing, well, it couldn't be that either, because then it would say last seen by stepfather, right? So the only thing that it could be is that it was before February 1st. And what that's telling me is that there was this kind of time apart before February 1st. We'll play it again so you guys can hear it. We'll go back to where he's getting the phone call.
No, you go ahead.
I'll come back and hang tight. Give me about 5-10 minutes. I'll be right back.
You're fine. You're fine. We'll be here.
Is that
yeah.
good?
You're okay. Hold on.
Hello?
That's me. I'm gonna knock you off for a minute. You just come back when you're ready. Okay. So I think he's on mute. Okay. So Katie.
That'll clarify that side of the question everybody's been asking. No, he does not have a restraining order from his daughter. He speaks to her, just to go ahead and clear that one out, because I know there's been a lot of talk about that as well.
Yeah.
That's fine, Salty. I'm just telling people what is being stated on Smiley's program. Okay. This, again, everybody, here, maybe I should put this in here too. Hold on. Let me see. Recorded 3:20. I probably, my bad. I should have put, hold on. I should have put this up there too. There we go. Recorded live March 20th.
So, I mean, he still speaks to her on the phone, as y'all see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our little girl is precious and loved, just like Sebastian.
Yeah. So somebody's wanting to know, that question's come up a couple of times, and I don't mean to be rude. I'm just going to ask that. I have saw it, like, do y'all, do you not call her y'all's daughter, since y'all call him y'all's son?
We do, and a lot of people are reading into it. It's just how we talk. Our boy, our girl, my son, my daughter, his son, his daughter. I mean, they're our children, but our children also have other parents as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, both of our children have more than just two parents.
Yeah. And I know you probably have been asked this on several channels. Y'all have been on several channels. Is there a reason that Chris hasn't seen him since? I know it had to do with the work, but like, why did he say he hadn't seen Sebastian since the 1st of February?
Because that's the truth. He hadn't seen him since the beginning of February.
I mean, is there a reason for that?
He's working 3.5 hours away. He don't come home after work.
So was he, I mean, and I'm not, I mean.
Right. She's asking because it's like, look, I mean, if it's a family, usually there's some breaks. They come home when there's breaks. You know what I mean? Like, and usually if they're not spending time together, well, you know, what kind of foundation is that, right? A shaky one.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, was he gone for like 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks or something like that?
He'd been gone since the beginning of February was the last time he was actually home. Christopher was actually home.
Okay, the beginning of February. February 1st is what they're saying. Now listen.
And yes, he did see Sebastian when he come home.
And yes, he did see Sebastian when he come home. So that's telling me it wasn't between February 1st and the 26th, because then it wouldn't be February 1st, would it? It would be another date. So it gets rid of that out of the equation. Then did he see him when he was coming back home after he was reported missing? Well, as far as we know, he was last seen from the mom, and it doesn't say last seen from the stepfather in the area of Stafford Court, does it? It used to say last seen by his mom. It went to just last seen. Okay. So that takes that out of the equation. So what else could it be? The only thing it could be is that when he did come home to visit, he would see Sebastian. How long was this break? It wasn't from February 1st. It started before that. February 1st was just the date that he was last there. And yes, it is a distraction. You know why? Because what's the first question? What is the first question law enforcement is going to ask when something suspicious happens at home? How were the relationships between you and that person and you and other people inside this home? They're going to ask you, what were your relationships like? Are they not? What's the last thing that you want to say? Oh, we've been taking our time away from each other for the last few months. We're discussing a divorce. Well, gosh, there's something already suspicious going on at home that might contribute to the events that took place. Well, he was last here on February 1st. We're not going to say specifically that that's the only time that we took a break, because we're just going to put out generalized stuff, so therefore people can come up with their own conclusions. That's when they started having a break. I call bullshit, because while he's off being distracted in another conversation, right? She's on her own, and all of a sudden she's just saying stuff that's like, oh, wait a minute. No wonder not much is said. Because the more you talk, the more the truth comes out. No? That's usually how it goes. The more you talk, the more the truth comes out, especially when there's stuff that's being said that just doesn't line up with other things. And shout out to Smiley Storey's World for this.
Okay.
It's, it's just part of it when you work away, you see each other when you can, but he doesn't. It's a lot to travel back and forth all the time. Like, that's not a trip that you can make, to and from every day by any means.
Oh, I get that. That's not something you want to do every day. That would take up your whole time. But did he never come home on the weekends, when you had Sebastian or anything like that?
Well, yeah, that's why he saw him in the beginning of February, but it wasn't every weekend.
Okay.
Because he works on weekends too a lot, so he can't just come home every weekend. But when he can, he does. He comes home and sees him.
Yeah.
They have a pretty good relationship.
Did he talk on the phone with Sebastian while he was at work?
He does. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
He wants to see if you can drop the link again. I think.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. Here we go. Paste.
I know they talk regularly.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right, there we go.
A lot of people have their opinions, but Sebastian's got a good bond with both dads.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to make sure I drop it again because I want to make sure he sees it. I'm not fancy like everybody else, so I just need to make sure I get it down there. That's what I was doing, was watching to see if he was coming. Oh, there he is. Look. Watch it over here. Okay, I'm watching over there. Okay, so Where do you want to start at, Chris? I was just asking little simple questions, or whatever about your work and stuff. Like, did you talk to Sebastian and stuff like that? But basically, I know it's a 3.5 hour drive. You was at work. Is there a reason that? Okay, so are you working now, or are you just taking off, or anything like that, like for a certain amount of time?
So is this to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are you asking me that, or is one of your people?
No, I'm asking you that. I just wondered.
Okay.
Like, if you, I was just wondering, like, if you, like, are you, in fact, I'll turn my chat off for just a minute so I don't get preoccupied.
Don't turn your chat off. Leave it on. It's fine.
Okay.
That way you can get all these questions coming in, because like I said, I told you, I gave you my word. I'd come on your show. I would answer questions. People ask the questions, but keep in mind, like I told y'all from the very beginning, I'm brash, I'm direct, but I'm respectful. And I ask for the same in everybody else.
Yeah, and I told them a while ago, just please be respectful, because I wasn't expecting this. Like, please be respectful, y'all, because...
So one thing right now, I'm gonna tell you right now, really irks me with some of these folks that want to follow these YouTube, and I'm very honest about this. Somebody says I won't talk to men. Not that I don't want to talk. Right. It's not that I don't want to talk to men. I have talked to more law enforcement men agencies in the past 24 days than I've probably ever talked to my entire life. Same thing goes for women. So no, I don't have a problem talking to a man or talking to a woman. I appreciate everybody's assumptions or concerns, innuendos, whatever they want to be.
Right.
But at the same time, I vet who I talk to. I'm not just going to open up and talk to anybody. And I will put this out there. JLR, everybody wants me to talk to this guy. Explain to me, Smiley, you probably have a better understanding of this. Explain to me why I should talk to JLR.
What's up, Danny?
I just really wish you would, because he does go out everywhere, and he wants the truth. I mean, and he may not get the truth out of you, but I have seen him literally go in places deep, like scary places, and like really just try to get the truth and try to like follow people that's just taking him in the woods or whatever, show him places, whatever, that he didn't know from Adam. He goes from one place to another. He may be on a plane to Mexico. Next time he might be in California, whatever. And, I mean, he's grown a lot. I just think a lot of people don't give him a chance. That's just my honest opinion.
Right. Do you know why people don't want to give this man a chance?
Well, go ahead and tell me. I mean, I want your opinion.
So I'm going to tell you my personal opinion.
Okay.
Okay, this is my personal opinion. This is nobody else's, not my wife's, not anybody else's. My personal opinion.
Okay.
Isn't that what personal opinion means? Like, my personal opinion. Not, yeah, we know.
So I did my due diligence, and I read up on Jonathan Lee Rich. Excuse me. I read up on him. Not necessarily the best character in the world. When you start reading and the first thing comes up, everything that you can find on this individual. Now, I don't know him, Adam, from Eve. I really don't. He don't know.
What, that he sued Britney Spears or something? Is that what he's talking about?
Me, Adam, from Eve.
What?
But when he opens his mouth and goes out there and starts spreading lies, and yes, lies, because unless you got hardcore evidence that I'm an abusive husband, abusive father, I've got a restraining order against me. Unless you got proof, don't open your mouth, because it's real simple.
Woo!
I don't have any of that.
Woo! Don't open your mouth. Oh my Lord. It's oozing out, isn't it? It's oozing out. It's oozing out. Hey, he's got a lot of his veins are pumping right now. You know what I'm saying? His veins are pumping. He just got off the phone. You know what I mean? He just got off the phone. His veins are pumping. Rah! Hear me roar. Hear me roar.
Evidence that I'm an abusive husband,
Woo!
abusive father.
Woo!
I've got a restraining order against me. Unless you got proof,
Woo! What's up, Michael?
don't open your mouth.
Woo!
Because it's real simple. I don't have any of that.
It's it's like when Birdman keep my name out your mouth. Put some respect on it. You guys remember that, Birdman? Put some respect on it.
Good luck finding it. I've never lied to y'all.
Put
I've
some
been open and
respect
honest.
on it.
People don't like my answers, so people want to come back with their own assumptions. And I'm
Shout out, Birdman.
so sorry that I can't open up and give you every little piece of evidence and every little detail that we know. I am terribly sorry. It sucks because when it does and it can come out, my only question to everybody else is, when are you going to start issuing public apologies? That's not to you. That is to everybody that wants to come out and badmouth people that don't understand and don't have a clue what's going on. And I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah, I can understand that. But let me ask you this.
Yes,
If somebody has over 100,000 people, why do you care what their past is or what they say if they can help you get Sebastian's name out?
Right. Just like this.
Stop playing with my fucking name. I'll drill y'all. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
So when you and I'll be honest with you, I've heard some of yours and the toxicity that comes out of what you guys projected about me has only toxified everybody else that puts in a lead or says, well, check out the stepfather, do this, do that, call law enforcement, check this out, do this. You take a body, every time something gets reported, a body comes away from the investigation to vet because they are required to do so. And it sucks because the same answers are the same across the board. Why they won't come out and tell in the public eye, hey, all three parents have been completely vetted. All three parents have been, questioned.
That's right. That is like, why? Why haven't they came out and said any of them have been cleared? Why? Like nothing. You want some more?
I'm here. What's happening? I'm all good, but I'm saying, why come here just to curse us up? What's happening, man? I wanted to see you. I wanted to talk to you on your man in your face. Absolutely. You understand me?
Oh, we'll have more for you.
All of this. Why they won't come out and say it? I understand to a point. I do. But it sucks at the same time because it's extremely hurtful that me, my wife, and Seth have to live in this life, even when this is over. However it ends, we have to live this life, not everybody else.
Quite frankly, Sebastian's going to find out what everybody's been saying about his parents, and I can't even imagine how distraught he's going to be, but we have to find him.
Where's the sniffles? Where's the emotion? Where's the voice cracking, right? Everybody knows when you're emotional, sometimes it's hard to talk. Your voice cracks. You swallow at times. You're not used to, you know what I mean? Where's it at?
I mean, and it sucks.
Yeah, you have to find him, and that's the most important thing.
Yes.
The rest is going to fall into place later, but the most important thing is he has to be found, and he has to be found regardless. Period.
I want to just side note, he's not clapping, y'all.
He's not what?
People keep saying that he's clapping. He's not clapping. That's just background noise.
Oh, I don't hear any. Yeah, y'all.
Well, some people have heard they're clapping, and that's fine. I'm currently working.
Yeah, y'all.
Now, where understand, people, where I work is really nobody's business. And I would hope you would respect that, because I'm not this criminal. I'm not this monster that everybody wants to believe. But I do believe in privacy and respect, and it goes both ways.
That's right. It goes both ways. Tell us, Birdman.
Put some respect on my name.
Tell us,
Y'all
Birdman.
When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
That's right, Birdman. Tell us, bro.
Yeah, I don't feel anybody should be going to anybody's job or anything like that. No, I don't feel anything like that. But as far as JLR, I mean, that's up to you who you speak with or anything like that. I do appreciate you holding up to your bargain, speaking to me. Some of the harder questions, it has nothing to do with you, but I'm just saying, as far as all that has nothing to do with you. It's just a matter of how I put it to every case that I care about, and there's no reason to be angry about it. It's just something, whether it's me, you, or whoever, and that happens to. Look, I had a grandson that went missing for a couple of hours here not very long ago, back last year, and I know how that feels. And we can sit and say this happened, this happened, and this one don't know, and whatever. But I'm very passionate about these. I've been through a lot of tragedies that a lot of these people that are my subs don't know that I've been through, and a lot I have told them. But I understand mine is not yours. I understand that, but I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate about Sebastian, and I do have to ask these questions, and they're questions you don't like. And whether you're in here,
no, it's not that I don't like them. I don't want anybody to start thinking that there's not questions I don't like. I've told y'all from the very beginning, I welcome all of your questions. The only thing is, because of an ongoing investigation, there are certain things that we are not, and have been told by law enforcement, do not get into specifics, because it could jeopardize the investigation. People don't like that, and I am sorry. I'm speaking for myself. I'm not going to speak for my wife. I'm not going to speak for Sebastian's father, Seth, his mother, his sister, or anybody for that matter. But, I do welcome the hard questions. I do.
Well,
and I'm okay with it. And for the record, I don't have a problem talking with JLR or anybody else. Now, if you're one of these shows that are for profit, you want to talk, you go out and publicly announce it publicly that any money that you make on the show, as long as me and my wife are involved, that money gets directly posted to signs, flyers, or billboards to help find our son. I'll do it. But if it's for personal gain, it ain't happening.
Yeah, I just went out today. I mean, I take money off my own stuff. I just went out today and got a bunch of flyers, and I suggested with because Seth wanted, I heard him on another show. But anyway, I suggested same thing I did with Summer Wells. Every time you mail something out, get it in the mail, send it out with bills, send it to whoever you write to, do whatever. I'm very passionate about that.
Speaking of Summer Wells, another case where a child just poof disappeared, right? Same investigation, y'all.
I'm very passionate about boots on the ground, going out, handing out the flyers. I don't care if they get thrown in the trash whatever, 5 minutes later, they see the picture, they see the photo.
Yeah.
As long as they see and say, and take a glance at it, there is a chance for me. They to read or something, say something, whatever. And, but nobody is going to dictate my money, because let me tell you something. I've been in this for, 3 years now, banging my head against the wall, being called everything, drug here, drug there, with this stupidity stuff, doing summer wells, and not ask for a penny. And I figured, well, if you can't beat them, join them. Meaning, first I did it to put my Cash App up for a point one day, and then I took it back down. And the next thing, I'm just like, no. They're like, you need to monetize. I'm like, you're right. I'm going broke. Trying to just keep the word out or whatever.
Yeah, that's why I say, and that's why I do this community call out when I play this, is because literally I wouldn't be able to go to these places and do these things if it wasn't for you. I ain't bull. Seriously, without you, I'm not just saying it to say it. I know there's a lot of people that do the shows and they just sit on their butt and there's nothing else. You know what I mean? And they say the same thing. I know it becomes run down. It becomes diluted when you got all of these people that literally are just using their own desk just to talk about stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we need you to keep. No, you'd already have the internet. You'd already have electricity. You'd already have all this other stuff. But when it comes to actually going out there and doing the work, that's what makes a difference. So really, when I say I couldn't do any of this stuff without you, I really, truly mean it. I really wouldn't be able to. So really, contribution call out to all of you.
Like somebody just gave me $10. I spent that today in gas and going and getting flyers and doing whatever just on Sebastian. That's where I know you just said that. So
right, but that you're not monetizing on. You're utilizing it to do something to put it forward.
Right.
Right. The people that are just sitting there, not, and it's not like they can't. There's other people. Listen, we go to different communities. There's people in other communities that live in those communities that still didn't get off their ass and go out there and help bring awareness to different cases. These people are just sitting behind a desk. That's that right there. It's like, come on. When you have shit right there, you don't even want to get out and go bring awareness to, that says something. It says something. It's like, oh, it's just a topic hour and I'm going to act like I'm doing work. Come on now.
People who want to pocket money, on the other hand, I'm not about pocket. I'm not lining your pockets.
Right.
Sorry. When it comes to Robini, when it comes to silver, I already saw that man approach a bag that he didn't know what was in it and was stabbing it with a shovel. Being a searcher myself and having to be aware when it comes to, you never know what you're going to come across, whether it's something from the victim you're looking for or another victim you might not even be looking for. When you don't know what's in a black big garbage bag, you don't lift it up, you don't toss it back on the ground, you don't stab it with a shovel, and you don't kick it before you find out. There's a process and steps in order to do it. And no, I do my searches and I approach it in a completely different way, because the last thing that I want to do is destroy any kind of evidence when it comes to my own actions. The last thing that I want to do is have something be brought, because what if it was remains of something and that needed to be used in a court of law, and then the court of law, when it came to that justice for that victim, says, well, how do we know that the injury on these bones didn't take place before or during when somebody was poking it with a shovel? And that right there is not 100% justice for any potential victim or whatever you may come across. And so when it comes to that, I have to be honest with you. This is why I keep my team small. This is why I only search with the people that I do search with, because I know that they have the same interest and the same approach that I do. And the last thing that we are going to do, anybody that I'm associated with, is mess up a crime scene, alter any kind of evidence. There's certain ways to do it and there's certain ways not to. And so, no, I'm not going to, because when I came across that, it was already disturbing watching that take place. Because again, as I'm going out there, when I come across stuff, if that's how I approach it, I'm sorry. I can't be, because I'm not, listen, that's not how I do it. And I'm not going to be, I would rather be with the people that I know, that I don't have to worry about stuff like that, because we really are trying to help. We really are trying to help. We're trying to make sure that these victims' families and communities get the most justice that they can get, period, possible whatsoever. And that's why we do what we do, but also the way that we go about it, because we want to make sure that they get the full justice, because that's what we're chasing. We're not chasing views. We're not chasing attention. We're not chasing clicks. We're not, none of that stuff. We're trying to chase the truth and justice for any of these cases that we discuss. And I want to say shout out to any of the teams that we've had at different points throughout time. I just want to say thank you to all of you guys, because every single one of the team has approached it the same way when it comes to coming across evidence or what could potentially be evidence. And really, I just have to say a shout out to them, because it was an honor to be associated with anybody that we did go out there and work with and have that same approach when it comes to the searches, because it is important. Because what if that shovel hit altered some kind of evidence and then that victim didn't get the justice? I just couldn't feel right. All right, back to this.
No,
and
I get that.
I'm going to be very respectful, because I don't want to say it like I would normally say it, but I tell everybody. Well, no, because if there are some folks that don't like cussing.
Well,
but understand something, and I'm respectful about it, because I'm being positive here. But if you don't feed me, finance me, or sleep with me, I don't owe anything to anybody at that point.
Well, I think we kind of think of it there, and
See?
I don't. Yeah, I agree there, and that brings me to say, hey, you should not care what people think. But JLR, back to him again. And I hate to keep bringing him up, because you're on here and I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. And I want to.
That's fun, isn't it?
Not JLR, but what I want to say is one other thing you have.
By the way, we now are on Rumble, so we are going to start doing some Rumble only streams where I can really tell you how I feel, because we ain't got to worry about this other censorship like what took place a couple weeks ago over here. So if you have Rumble, go ahead and hit the follow button, because I'm going to do special streams over there from time to time and just say it how I feel.
Have to take in consideration him going to all these places, not just to help Sebastian, but all these other people. That's not free. You got to remember that that's not free. So I'm just saying.
Right, but if I'm on his show, we're talking about my son's case.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. There is a situation of my son, not everybody else's. And I know he's doing his thing, and I appreciate it. What I don't appreciate is some of the stuff he does put out there that when I've asked the guy, I said, do you have proof? Do you have physical evidence that I am anything what you say?
Right.
And he doesn't. So then keep my name out of your mouth.
Woo!
Right.
It's real simple.
And then you don't want him, if he does this, because he's there now, so you don't want him. And I don't know, I'm not going to talk to him on the phone.
It's real simple.
Put some respect on my name.
It's real simple.
You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
It's real simple.
Everything, I don't do that, but like I just like what he does. But so I'm just asking because he'll hear this. So are you? So and you don't want him to monetize on that? He's talking about your son, correct?
Yeah, if he's going to monetize, take that money, go buy flyers, go buy yard signs, put it on the billboards.
Okay, all right.
I mean, and that's fair. I'm asking. He wants me on the show. That's fine. Then I want a public acknowledgement that you're going to donate every dollar that you make off of my son's show to finding him.
Okay,
that's fair.
Yeah. Okay, and I get that. Now, can I say one other thing? Because
yes, ma'am.
Before we kind of get started, the only reason is because fair is fair, and I want to say this. And I said I would treat you fair, and I will. I try to treat everybody. I do try to treat everybody. Now, whether I have opinions or I don't, none of that matters. Okay, but I want to say this. Like my heart really hurts for Seth. It really does. It hurts for you. It hurts for you. It hurts for Katie. It hurts for everybody because no matter what happened. Now listen. No matter what happened, don't jump on me yet. I'm not finished with my statement.
Oh, I'm not. You're fine.
If it was an accident, if it was he walked off, if he crawled off, if it was no matter what it was,
right.
I feel for everybody. Okay, I feel for everybody. But this is just it's insane. It's insane. I feel for Seth, but I feel for all of you, but I can feel his pain so much more. But what I feel for is I do feel for his mom, and I'm going to say this. When she said, can y'all stop or ask Chris to stop saying that that's his son, because it's not, and it kills Seth even though he don't say anything. I just wanted to say what you had to say about that.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm a stepdad to a 15-year-old young man. Okay. I came in Sebastian's life roughly, he was like 7, 8-ish. And I helped raise him, and I still help raise him. And I have a daughter, since everybody wants to know, who lives with my ex-wife out in New Mexico. Her mother has another man that lives with her. Now, whether or not they're married, I don't know. That's not my business personally. Okay.
I'm going to tell you right now, it is my business. If my daughter's mother was getting married, I want to know the dude's background. I want to make sure he's not a predator. You know what I'm saying? What do you mean? None of my business. It's all of my business. I'm sorry. If another man is going to be around my daughter, oh, it's my business. It's definitely my business. Definitely my business. As that don't sit right with me. I had full custody, no help from mama, not even a penny. The whole time. I'm gonna tell you right now. Ooh. It is my business as soon as that MFer is walking in the same presence as my daughter. What are you talking about? That's my baby.
Right.
I feel for everybody. Okay. I feel for everybody. But this is just it's insane. It's insane. I feel for Seth, but I feel for all of you, but I can feel his pain so much more. But what I feel for is I do feel for his mom, and I'm going to say this. When she said, can y'all stop or ask Chris to stop saying that that's his son, because it's not, and it kills Seth, even though he don't say anything. I just wanted to say what you had to say about that.
Well, let's put it this way.
Mm-mm.
I'm a stepdad to a 15-year-old young man. Okay. I came in Sebastian's life roughly, he was like 7, 8-ish. And I helped raise him, and I still help raise him. And I have a daughter, since everybody wants to know, who lives with my ex-wife out in New Mexico. Her mother has another man that lives with her. Now, whether or not they're married,
and he lives there. Whether or not they're married, Nope. Now, step parent, I've been a step parent too. Is it my business? Very minimal. Very minimal my business. That, oh yeah, you're damn straight. That's my business. Shoot. And if a guy is going to sit there, ladies, I'm going to tell you right now. If a guy is going to sit there and tell you that another man living in his daughter's home with the mother ain't your business, you need to find a new man. They're a little soft. You know what I'm saying? What the hell, man? You need to stand up. Stand up, man. What are you talking about? It's not my business.
I don't know. That's not my business. Personally. Okay.
It don't matter who
Last
you
time
are.
I checked, they were
It's
not
my
married,
business.
But my daughter
Shit.
refers to him as daddy.
Shit.
Now, what does a child calling a person got to do with anything? Because as long as a child is being correctly raised and not hurt and loved, then what does it matter?
That's true.
He's my stepson.
That's true.
He does not call me dad. He does not call me father. He doesn't say it. He calls me Mr. Chris. I have always left that open for him. He does not have to call me anything he does not want to, except for late for dinner, because that ain't happening.
Right. Okay.
Even Seth calls Chris his dad, his stepdad.
Right.
So his mother has her opinions, and that's that.
You know, and unfortunately, I hate that family disputes. And I don't care if what it is. When something in your life becomes so publicized and it's so dramatic, people find a way to turn and find ways to just make it the worst thing even worse. Just because, and it sucks. It truly sucks.
I personally think we should all be working together to find Sebastian, because Sebastian is an awesome person who deserves to be home.
Busby, don't worry. I won't ever call you late for dinner, okay? I won't ever call you late for dinner. Oh, hell no.
Something in your life becomes so publicized and it's so dramatic, people find a way to turn and find ways to just make it the worst thing even worse. Just because, and it sucks. It truly sucks.
I personally think we should all be working together to find Sebastian, because Sebastian is an awesome person who deserves to be home.
Katie, let me ask you, the night of Sunday night, when you said there was a noise, what type of noise do you think that was that you heard?
I'm not honestly sure. It sounded like he was messing with stuff in his room, which was not uncommon, which is why I said, hey, I don't know what you're doing in there, but you're supposed to go to sleep.
Okay. So you didn't check on him at that time?
So it wasn't keep it down. It wasn't are you okay? It's, you're supposed to go to sleep. And does that sound like a thud? A thud. A thud is like a deep sound, right? It's got some vibration to it. It's a deep sound. Thud. Thud. It just don't make sense.
Katie, let me ask you, the night of Sunday night.
That's not the description of a thud.
When you said there was a noise, what type of noise do you think that was that you...
Also, 3 different statements of what was said. Are you okay? Keep it down. And this.
Heard?
I'm not honestly sure. It sounded like he was messing with stuff in his room, which was not uncommon, which is why I said, hey, I don't know what you're doing in there, but you're supposed to go to sleep.
3.
Okay. So you didn't...
We're one away from the different locations that he was witnessed the morning of February 26th. We're almost there.
Didn't check on him at that time, but did you check on him at midnight? Did you flip the light on and look to see if he was in the bed at midnight when you got up to go to bed?
No, and because I didn't have any reason to. When he was little, I used to check on him all the time, but he's older now and he's 15, and y'all can figure out why a mother may not want to necessarily pop into a teenage boy's room unexpectedly.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, when...
I don't know what to say to that. You know what I mean? When we're talking about a thud, where does and how do you get to that conclusion that
when Seth said that when he came, that everything was in pristine condition except for his room. Like, I know that the LE was there, and he said that the LE was there. Well, I mean, what did he mean by that? Was that just like the bed was unmade, or where you looked under things, or was it like what did he mean by that?
Sebastian's room is always a little bit messy, but even more so with all the people coming in, all the law enforcement coming in and looking through things, me looking through things, like everybody was searching everything.
So I have a question then real quick. So you're asking that question, is that because somebody's trying to insinuate that we tried to cover something up because the house was clean? Or
no.
Please understand why I'm asking that question, because whether my house is dirty or clean really doesn't matter. But okay,
where did that even? Where did we get that from? Anything that she stated right here? Where can somebody come up with that conclusion? Are you talking about like we cleaned something up? Like just out of nowhere. Hey, I got a question. Just out of nowhere.
Sebastian's room is always a little bit messy, but
she wasn't even saying nothing about it.
Even more so with all the people coming in, all the law enforcement coming in and looking through things, me looking through things, like everybody was searching everything.
So I have a question then real quick. So you're asking that question.
Yeah, you notice I'm going to change the direction of the topic. I'm going to change the direction of the topic. Did I hear what? That his room was a little messy and It got even more messy from all the traffic. I mean, there was little, that they had light carpet, right? I mean, you're going to be walking in and out. There's people walking in and out. You got foot trail, people walking in the woods coming in, I'm sure, but people took their shoes off. Now, did law enforcement? Who knows? Oh yeah, there's little nuggets all over. That's why we're going through these.
Is that because there's somebody's trying to insinuate that we tried to cover something up because the house is clean? Or
change the direction.
And please understand why I'm asking
change
that
the direction,
because whether my house is dirty or clean really doesn't matter. But okay, I'm just trying to understand this.
Okay, well, I'll explain it to you. It's because I have a son that is autistic. He's 28 now, but I know it's all different types of children on the autism spectrum, but they like stuff in order. And so I was just wondering, like, I was just trying to think back, and I'm just wondering, like, what did Seth mean by that? Like, was it just because the bed was messed up? And then I know the cop, like doing these cases and stuff, I know the cops. So, I mean,
well, yeah, Seth said that they came in and flipped the mattress upside down and ripped the sheets off his bed. I'm telling you, like, man, if my child was missing and that's the last time they made their bed, oh my gosh, I can't imagine what that would do to me upstairs. You know what I mean? Because you want to leave it how they left it, right? And all of a sudden, boom, flip, turn, tear. It's like, what? What? He didn't even go missing from here.
It's not like you have to get paranoid that I ask you that. It's just, I was asking that because I was thinking back on things, not only personally, but because I was just trying to make sense of, and then when Katie said, well, it was just his room's out of order and stuff, I'm just thinking, well, some kids, maybe they do, if they're autistic, I don't know. I just asked that question. When I ask questions, I just listen, let me just tell you this. When I ask questions, you don't have to necessarily look, I'm not the police. Okay. And you don't have to worry about how I ask questions. It's just, I also work for a retention center for 11 years, and it was my job to retain people and think outside the box, and that's what I do. It's a habit. So there's
right
that.
So me asking that question back is because you've got a lot of viewers. I'm not saying your viewers, so let's make that super clear so that viewers don't get that construed with anything. But there's so many people out there with their insinuations, and because you asked that question, it would not surprise me to see a comment, well, that's because they cleaned the house before the cops got there. Trust me, we have seen it all, heard it all. People are putting stuff out there that is completely obtuse from the truth, and it is ridiculous. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah. Well, you can ask me anything you want. I mean, I don't mind explaining why I asked. I just don't want you to think I'm asking things in nefarious ways. I'm just simply asking. I'm trying to think, because I have been sitting here thinking for days, and I have my own things, and sometimes they have not been good. I'll just be straight up honest with you, because I'm not going to be fake and try to hide anything or whatever. You said yourself, you've seen things that I said. I was not too happy the other night when somebody took my question and asked you, and that was a personal question when you said and I didn't like how you answered it, to be frank with you.
What did I say? Do you remember what it was, please?
It was something about, I was pretty hurt about that myself. And I didn't like that because you knew it was coming, but I didn't ever expect it was coming from somebody else, but they did that because they was butthurt at me anyway. But that's okay. It's okay. It's not about me fighting with anybody else. It's about Sebastian here. And, I just didn't, I just felt some kind of type of way because it's the way you answered it, and you already had it in your private private messages, but none of that matters. What matters is Sebastian, and I want to know. Tell me, Chris, can you tell me about the snake? Tell me about the snake. Why did you get rid of the snake, or y'all got rid, or decided together, or tell me about the snake?
Okay, so right. So to answer your question about the snakes, I'll start at the beginning of the snakes. So long time ago, I actually used to breed reptiles, snakes, gargoyle, reptile, all kinds of stuff. You name it, just about reptiles. I used to breed it. Love reptiles. One of my favorite things. Mm-hmm. In California, we actually had a snake. They had a bearded dragon. It died. Mm-hmm. But we wound up getting a snake. Well, Sebastian liked it.
They is me and Bubba. We had a beardy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Right. But we had a Samoyed boa. Sebastian liked the idea of having a snake. Well,
he loved that thing.
He's never had one that was his snake, his own snake. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, when I do something, I go all in. I don't half-ass do it. So, I purchased. However, I've got friends that are in that world still that are in that business, and we all chit chat and I wind up coming across. Basically, I had like about 30 snakes at one given time. All of them were ball pythons. Mm-hmm. I didn't have anything retic. I didn't have anything massive, poisonous, or anything like that. Well, Sebastian was infatuated with one of the snakes that one of the breeders I deal with had. And it's the picture the snake that you see in the picture that's wrapped around his arm. That is his personal pastel ball python named Brownie. That is his personal snake. He loved them. The downside, like it got to a point with mom's work, my work, and I told Sebastian, I said, having a snake means responsibilities. Mm-hmm. You're going to clean it. You're going to have to feed it. You're going to water it. You're going to do all that stuff.
And he
if you
actually
don't,
did.
He what, Katie?
I said, and he did for a little while.
And then he stopped?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just like, come on. Like, if you're a parent, you got a pet, let's be honest, most of the time, they help out for a few weeks, and all of a sudden it gets less and less and less and less, and then you end up but come on, it don't matter. They're just being kids. Just being
parenting
kids.
is, and I think everybody understands.
Like any kid,
when you're a parent, you're not your kid's best friends. You're not. That's not what your job is. Your job is to be a parent. And I told Sebastian, if you don't, she's gone. And he thought I was kidding. Nope. So when I got rid of one, I got rid of them all.
And that's why he's saying that he loved in past tense is because he got rid of the snake. So, the snake was gone. So he past tense loved.
Now, when I say got rid of him, a friend of mine, local in Nashville, he got him.
Yeah.
Because he's a good breeder, great guy.
Yeah.
He's like, if you ever want him, come get him, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, man, appreciate it. But right now, he's not doing what he's supposed to do. So right now, we're not going to just hang tight with him. So we got rid of the snakes.
So did his dad not want them, or you couldn't take them to his dad's or anything so he could see them when they're there? I just wondered.
That's a good question.
Well, his dad wasn't going to take 30 snakes. Because 30 snakes, you're talking a big old...
Just his personal snake, right? Doesn't have to take 30, but don't you think he would have liked it if his personal, the only personal snake he had? Of course he would have.
Rack.
Of course.
All kinds of stuff.
That's Brownie. That was his buddy Brownie.
You got to deal with the food, which is going to be rats and things like that.
That's his buddy Brownie.
Yeah.
People...
for Christ's sakes, he was asking for friends for his birthday. You don't think he would have wanted to have... come on now. That was his buddy Brownie.
People don't want to deal with that.
I know.
Yeah, it's just a question. I mean, I know I wouldn't. It's just a question. It was a question because I wondered, like, I could tell in the picture he really liked it. So that was.
If your child was asking for friends for their birthday, don't you think you come on? If your damn child is asking for friends for their birthday, oh my lord. It's hard. It's hard to hear that.
Was one of his, pets, and so I
It's
just
hard to
wondered.
hear that. It's hard to hear that.
I mean, to this day, I call my buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
if Sebastian wants to go, I can call him up. We'll head over to his snake, his big old snake. He's got a building full of them, and that's where ours are.
It'd break my heart
too. Like,
too.
you want to see
know what
him?
I mean?
Just come on over, man. Whenever, just call me up. Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
It wasn't like he would never get to see it again.
It's not like it's a newborn effing baby, okay? Let's be real. It's a damn snake. It's not like it's a newborn baby that you gotta wake up every 2 hours to feed her. Come on now.
It was just
right. Lessons have to be
Come
taught.
on now.
I'm a very firm believer, it
Come
is
on
what it
now.
is.
Especially if your kid's
is it always
asking for
gone forever?
friends
No,
for
not
the
necessarily.
birthday.
But you're going to earn it back. It's not just going to be handed to you.
Oh.
How did you discipline him since he, how did you discipline
Sebastian in general?
Yeah.
Well, that depends. The punishment has to fit the crime.
That beep's driving
so
me
to speak.
nuts.
I'll give you an example. Cleaning his room.
Mm-hmm.
And people are going to make me sound like I'm so horrible. But I promise you, folks, you try this with your kids one time, and you won't ever have a problem with this again. So if you tell them to clean their room, and they go in there and they clean their room, well, they say come out, well, it's clean. And you go in there and you go to check their room, and the room's not clean. Okay. Thought I told you to clean this room. You told us the room is clean, did you not? Well, yes, sir. Okay. Now I'm going to clean your room. And you know exactly what that means. I go in and I go grab a trash bag. I walk back in that bedroom. If it's on the floor and it's not supposed to be on the floor, it's not picked up and put in the right places, goes in the trash bag. If it's not important enough for you to take care of and pick up, I'll take care of it for you. Throw in the trash bag.
Remember, and that's the one-time method where you never have to worry about it ever again. You just do this. You follow these simple instructions. My Lord. I asked, can we please throw this away? You don't really need this anymore. No, Dad. Okay. If I did take away anything, because trust me, they don't all clean their rooms. You take things away. You don't throw it away. You just temporarily take it away. My Lord, right? Yeah. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. Oh boy. We'd be on the front porch. Oh, we'd be on the front porch. It'd be like, you know what? You're treating my fucking kid like this, bro? Nah. Now, if Mom wants to, me and Mom can, we can have a co-parenting conversation. But if a motherfucker that I swear to God, your ass is going to be out on that front lawn. Who the fuck are you? Treat my kid like that, motherfucker.
Bag.
Who the fuck are you?
Up. I've done this.
We'd be in the front lawn.
One time, Mom talked me out of it. The other time, Sebastian, here's the bag. Go put it in the trash can.
Ooh.
And then you're going to take the trash can to the street. And after that, Sebastian, did you clean your room? Well, your mom told you to clean your room. Did you clean the room? Yes or no? Well, yes, sir. Is it clean the way it's supposed to be? Well, no, sir. Then I suggest you go back in there and clean it, or I'm coming in there in the next 10 minutes and I'm cleaning. Yes, sir. Hauls butt to that bedroom, and by golly, that room is clean the way it's supposed to be. Now, it sounds crazy, but I promise you, you try it with your kids, man, your kids will be like, oh my God.
One time.
They ain't kidding.
One time.
It works amazing.
Works amazing. I bet it does.
Do you feel like that he was ever a burden at all on you or your relationship, either one of you?
Good question.
Was my stepson a burden
Good
in
question.
my marriage?
Yeah.
Bro, you just said you'd walk in. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to go on a rant.
No.
Oh.
No.
I'm not going to go on a rant.
No. The burden. So, what has always been a struggle, and anybody who's married and has, you're a step parent, okay, that struggle of being able to, yes, very much. And then you've got discipline on top of it, and, what you can do, what you can't do, with, because you've got the other parent and this parent. That's always a struggle. When you can get on the same page with each other,
mm-hmm.
and finally everybody understands it,
right,
man, it is a beautiful picture. Beautiful.
Everybody understand
now, am I everything's sunshine and rainbows? No, it's not.
Right.
But it ain't high tides and tsunamis either.
So if you and his mom ever argued, and that's in every marriage, like, would Sebastian ever jump between y'all?
That's a good question, too.
Like physically?
Yeah.
No.
Why is he laughing?
We don't fight and yell and scream or any of that, like, violent type stuff.
Laughing like he knows better. One-time theory, right? The one-time method. The one-time method. No. The fuck?
And tsunamis either.
I'm getting mad now.
So if you and
I'm getting upset.
His mom ever argued, and that's in every marriage, like, would Sebastian ever jump between y'all?
Like physically?
Yeah.
No.
We don't fight and yell and scream or any of that, like, violent type stuff. We tend to take it behind closed door in our bedroom and have a conversation, because the children should never be exposed to that. That's between us, not them.
And first off, like this, I'm going to make this real clear, crystal clear.
Crystal clear.
I was always raised, you never strike a woman.
So
and I taught that to Sebastian. You will never strike a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
And I'm not accusing
what
you
does
of
that
so,
have to do?
But
what does
again,
that have to?
Seth has said that Katie, and again, I'm sorry, Katie, that that again there was a time, and this is a long. People can change, but again, it's been said that Katie has struck Seth, and that again, that's a long. I wasn't there, so
no.
Ooh,
and I wasn't there either, for the record. So
maybe Katie should answer this. I don't
know. Lord, no, that is a whole nother thing that happened back.
I gotta laugh too.
Yeah, well, that's what brought me to my question. So I was just wondering if Sebastian stepped in, and then I had heard at another place where Seth had said Sebastian would step in, and I didn't even know if he was talking about that or not, because I heard about that separate, that Sebastian would step in and say, don't do this to my dad or whatever. And he could be talking about something totally different. But, again, I have to think all kinds of things in my head. So did Sebastian have tantrums at all? And this is
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he's a kid. I mean, it's even when I came in the picture. I mean, his tantrums were pretty bad. I mean, to the point. I mean,
yeah, think about what he was going through back then.
I'm not dragging Seth,
my God,
his mom, his sister, my wife. I'm not dragging people through the mud.
Come on.
So what is in the past is the past, and that really needs to die. And I'm saying that for everybody to hear, to include all parties involved with this situation.
No, it don't.
The past is a past. It needs to die. Let it.
No, that is bullshit, because what took place, listen, this is why we fight so hard. Because when people become that kind of victim, you change their life forever. That's a sentence that nobody deserves. There is no let the past be the past. Oh, it'd be so hard not to be out on that front lawn. Oh, man. There'd be some Happy Gilmore shit going on. You know what I'm saying? The back of the hockey jersey over the front. Kabam!
But
they
at
keep
the same
saying,
time,
Rachel. They keep saying, who's Rachel? So you want to answer that before you tell them to
yes,
pass
yes.
by?
Okay.
Woo!
So I got no problem. Rachel is my third.
I didn't know about Rachel, so.
No. So here, I'll make this easy for you. So I've been married 5 times. I'm on my 5th wife, and she's going to say, you're final. So let me make that clear. She's probably going to yell at me later that I didn't say final. But I've been married 5 times. Okay. First time, her name was Vanessa. Second time, her name was Stephanie. Third time, her name is Rachel. Fourth time, her name is Nina. And I'll gladly answer any questions in any of my marriage. Out of the 4 ex-wives, 3 of them to this day, I can actually pick up the phone, call, and we can have conversations. That's how good it is.
Okay.
My 4th ex-wife, which is the one I have with my daughter, sometimes we can have cordial conversations, sometimes we cannot. I will make that possible. I'll leave that there. That's why we go to court.
They keep saying something about the story of Rachel. What is the story of Rachel?
The story of Rachel.
Maybe how y'all met, and how long did y'all, I don't know, I don't know. This is the first time I'm hearing about Rachel, because I haven't dug in that deep into anything. I don't know. Like, how long was y'all married, maybe, and how was your relationship? Do y'all have any kids? I don't know.
No. I have one biological child in this world. One. That was my 4th wife.
Okay.
The story with Rachel's real simple. We met. We were all friends. We moved we shared an apartment together. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And somehow or another, we wound up starting a relationship. Things just happened. I mean, whatever. So we got married. And Rachel took a job where she was working down in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, as a civilian. And while she was down in Guantanamo Bay, I guess promiscuity got the best of her, and she decided to be unfaithful. We ended that relationship. She went back to Cuba. You know, I packed up the house. I put all her stuff in a storage unit. Gave one of her friends that lived in the area the key. Told her the combo. Set up the payment plan for her. Everything like that. You know, as far as I know, she lives, I think it's in New Orleans now.
Got out of that house, huh? You got to move out.
And I think she just had a 2nd child. So she's got a little boy and I think a little girl now.
You got to move
Were
out.
you part of any of any the stepchildren's lives there in your other marriages?
Yes. My 4th wife, Nina, she has 2 children. Those children's names, don't even ask him. I'm not telling you because
No.
I don't want people digging into that. They don't need to be. Those kids are not being drugged into that.
Yeah.
Yes, I was very much involved during the marriage while her and I were together with the kids' lives. It was a rough marriage. I mean, from the word go, Nina and I both knew we probably should have never got married, but we did, But I mean, still to this day.
Can you imagine? He's sitting there telling you we should have known. They didn't get a lot. Can you imagine what his daughter had to grow up through? Oh my Lord! While they were still together, can you imagine? Oh my gosh, walking on eggshells since she was a baby. That's so sad.
Like I said, when things are good, I don't have a problem talking with the other two kids at all. Occasionally I see them in FaceTime videos when I'm talking with my daughter.
Yeah.
But it's not. They're good kids. They really are.
So did Sebastian have any friends that he ever brought over to the house, like that y'all allowed, and it could be like I heard Katie say somewhere too, maybe it was in one of the Facebook groups, but it was in writing. I didn't really hear her say it, but she wrote it down that she had or maybe it was in her interview, I don't know, like he had other friends, or you had other friends, Katie, with children like him that had autism. So did you ever have play dates, I guess is the right word, where you try to get him together with other children like that, or maybe that was invited over to your house? Or can you give me a day, like what it was like for him around other children, somebody outside the family?
So Sebastian struggles with maintaining friendships with a lot of the children his age, because even with the children that are similar, they tend to have different interests. Sebastian gets very single mind tracked. Like if he's wanting to talk about like Minecraft, then he wants you to be 100% all about the Minecraft.
Yeah,
and so a lot of times, like other children will be like, yeah, that's cool, but I want to do this, and he'll be, so they wind up getting frustrated with each other, and that's where a lot of his like struggles making friends come into play, is because personal space is also another part of it, where he disregards like what we call the personal bubble, just because he just doesn't have that awareness. Like he'll just be right here in your face. But he's capable of getting along with other kids. I mean, and he does, but typically for shorter periods of time. At school, he does pretty well with a lot of the kids. But even that, they have to take breaks, because not him, but not just him, but, even the other kids, they each have their unique interests and their unique ways of thinking and doing things. And so they get to each other and they have fun. And then, something will happen and one or both will get frustrated. And so they got to, time out and whatnot. We have met some kids, especially because I like to take them out and go do things, especially in like public settings, like the festivals and bowling and stuff like that, to get them out and get them, it gives an opportunity to interact and work on those kind of social skills and meeting people and being appropriate when meeting people, responding, with appropriate emotions and stances, like if someone's being polite and says hello to you, to match that energy and not come at a different energy, and we have like a scale that we work on, like what is the problem that's frustrating you, is it like a 0, 1, 2, 3, and then okay, well, what's your response to that, type thing. So yes, he does interact with other children and people, but he struggles to form those like stronger bonds with people.
Was he starting to notice girls yet?
I think so, although he's in denial. He
Yeah.
don't want to tell Mama that he likes girls.
Yeah. Were y'all a part of a church or anything like that?
Yes. So we attend.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and pause it there for this evening. That'll be part 1. We'll get into. We'll start from here on part 2. It'll either be tomorrow night or Monday night. I'm not sure. I'm still kind of, trying to get some other things in the background. We'll see, though. It's either going to be tomorrow night or Monday night. And then we're going to have one of the programs that's opposite, either going to be tomorrow night or Monday night. So if we don't get into this tomorrow night, we'll definitely get into it on Monday night. We'll start off where they start talking about the churches. A lot of interesting stuff. She is a beautiful host. She's a sweetheart. We love her over here. And yes, she has amazing questions. Not only, like, even when there was trying to change the direction, that's fine. You can go ahead and get it out. Just, amazing job of navigating it. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and get it out. We'll let you say that. Now let's kind of go right back onto the highway. Let's get back onto the road and stay off the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, she did a great job with this. There's plenty more. We'll be going into it in the next one. But I'm going to go ahead and hop off for the evening. I want to say thank you all for hanging out with us. If you don't have the links, I'll drop them in chat as we're leaving the show. And then if you're watching on replay, I will, they're already in the description, so you can go ahead and click on either her channel, go show her some love, and also the video. Go show the video some love too, and we'll pick up on the next one. I want to say, I hope you all have a peaceful, positive evening. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. And if you're new to the show, and just consider subscribing and come on back. And we got plenty more other stuff that we're going to be getting into as well. Not just for Sebastian. That'll be coming up here throughout the week, next week. I'm going to eat some food, hang back, and I think I might go hang out at the lounge just to chill back. Who knows what we'll be doing over there, reactions or chilling, whatever. And I don't know. It's I might just eat and end up going to bed. I'm tired too. But I hope you all have a positive, peaceful evening. Prayers to everybody out in California. And good news, Yoli. I'm glad to hear it. And trust me, once I'm done here, I'm going to be right back to the coverage over there. So just send a lot of your prayers and your love and your energy over in that direction, because there's a lot of people living on eggshells right now. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
10-4.